It's okay. I can do this without them. We are live. All right. We are live and on the air. And tonight, I am excited to do this program because tonight's topic is the economy. Now, I posted that in my post, the purpose of why I posted what I did, stating that the economy is in good shape, is to get engagement. I wanted to get people's reactions and get people's comments, even if they disagree with my viewpoint, because I want to see what people had to say. So let's see what people had to say. Okay, now I posted this. Let's see if we can find my post. That the economy has never been better. Thought I heard an echo. The economy has never been better. Houses are selling. Ask any realtor. They can't sell them fast enough. That's true. If you don't believe me that houses are flying off the market, just talk to your local realtor. They'll tell you about the housing market. It's still going crazy. They're still moving them. The houses are selling. You put a house in the market, that's going to get sold. Cars are selling. Ask any dealership. I got a friend who works at Youngblood, and they can't sell used cars fast enough. So cars are selling like hotcakes. People are taking vacations and cruises. I understand this is the summer. That's that time of year for that sort of thing. But the fact that they can afford to go on cruises and take extended vacations, that's what I'm getting at. In my news feed, I've seen 5 families going on vacations. Jay Tahoe. Hi, Jeremiah. Hello, Jay. David's not here to send Jay there. But, yeah, the way I see it, the economy must be healthy because houses are selling, cars are selling. In my news feed alone, and just used cars are selling like hotcakes. Yeah, they are, Jay. I don't know if they're selling like that where you're at, but over here, we can't keep them on the lots. I mean, they just sell. I mean, if the economy was bad, nobody would have money to buy used cars. Nobody would have any money to buy a house. But people are buying houses. Why? Number one is because the interest rates are real cheap. I mean, the interest rates are still really low, affording people to buy houses they wouldn't otherwise buy. And I think people are spending beyond their means. Let's see. I know that in my news feed alone, I'm seeing family after family on vacation, going on cruises. I have a friend of mine, he sells RVs. I met him today. And he's been selling lots of very expensive RVs. So somebody out there is spending a lot of money. In the 1970s, this was not happening. It was the exact opposite because in the 1970s, we had double-digit interest rates, double-digit inflation, double-digit unemployment. People were not buying cars. They were not buying houses. They were in 2021. I sold a car I bought in 2019 for $1,400 for $1,000 at the beginning of this year. Yeah, cars are selling. Absolutely. But this can't go on. We're going to hit a recession at some point. Just like I said, in my news feed alone, I am seeing people go on vacations. I know of 3 families that are going on a cruise. Just the fact, I know it's summer, but the fact they can afford to do it is telling me the economy is healthy. If the economy wasn't healthy, they wouldn't be able to afford to go on these cruises. They wouldn't be buying RVs. They wouldn't be buying cars. But money's cheap, and the government has inflated the dollar because of all the money they printed, all the stimmy checks. You may be wondering, why do we have inflation? Well, we have inflation because there's too much money chasing too few goods and services. They gave all that stimmy money, all that stimulus check, all those bailouts. Now we're paying for it. There's too much money flooding the market and not enough goods and services. Then there's a labor shortage playing into this too. I'm seeing theme parks are full. The lakes are full. Restaurants are full. You were just at to buy our dinner. You were at Hong Kong Inn, right, Sandra?
Mm-hmm. I was.
And were they full?
They were pretty full.
Pretty full.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a line of cars. Was there? How long was that line?
The drive-throughs always backed up to Glenstone.
And this is on a Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a Friday night, not a Saturday night, but a Tuesday night. Normally an off night for restaurants. Products are flying off the shelf. Amazon can't keep up. That's true. But when I was growing up, it was the exact opposite. Stores would have clearance sales. They'd have discounts. They would beg you just to come in the store to shop. They would do anything to get you to come in the store and take that product off their shelf, to move that product. Today, they can't keep the product on the shelf. So, like I said, restaurants are full, the lakes are full, theme parks are full, cars are selling, houses are selling. We've also got the lowest unemployment. We have more jobs than people. When I was growing up, we had more people than jobs because people were being laid off. More factories are becoming automated. And so people were losing their jobs. You couldn't even get a job at Burger King. There were no jobs to be had in the 1970s. We had gas lines, and we thought $1.50 a gallon was insane. So what's causing inflation? Like I said, it's supply and demand. The government printed all this money and passed out all this bailout money. All this money is floating around out there, and that's why we're having inflation. There's too much money chasing too few goods. Another thing I want to get across and to people understand is some years ago, you would be taking home about $3 an hour, correct? Well, $3 an hour could buy you 3 cans of Coke and 3 Hershey bars. I mean, a can of Coke was 50 cents. A Hershey bar was 50 cents. So three candy bars and 3 sodas, that's $3. Today, 3 Hershey bars and 3 cans of Coke. Today, you earn an average of $12 an hour. And that can still buy you 3 Hershey bars and 3 Cokes. Matter of fact, at Walmart, I saw a can of Coke, a 12-ounce can, go for 75 cents. That's what they're selling them for out of the vending machine. 75 cents a can. So, actually, it's actually cheaper. If you're paying 75 cents a can today, in today's dollars, that's actually cheaper than what it was when I was a kid. Come to think of it.
I know the 20-ounce bottles at work, we did pay $1.25 out of the machine.
$1.25.
Now it's $1.50.
$1.50. But back when I was a kid, they were 50 cents. But what were the wages of the day? So an hour's wages could buy you 3 Hershey bars and 3 cans of Coke. Today, an hour's wages start at around $12 an hour. That can still buy you 3 Hershey bars and 3 cans of Coke. Actually, it'll buy you more than that because Coke is 75 cents a can out of the vending machine at Walmart. I saw that today. You can go to the vending machine at 75 cents a can. So it's actually, your dollars buy you more today than it did back when I was a kid. So now your dollar stretches further. But I don't know. I'm just using that particular product of candy bars and Cokes. When I told people that I thought the economy was booming because cars are selling, houses are selling, people are going on vacations, they're buying RVs, cars, motorcycles, houses. I mean, something must be right about the economy. More jobs than people to fill them. People are just out there spending, and that's why we have inflation. Because there's too much money out there. Way too much money. But people thought, what planet are you on? Because people think that they don't see a booming economy. Depends on how you look at how many rubles can buy me 2 Hershey bars and a can of Coke. I don't know, Jay. I don't know anything about rubles. But I was just comparing the wages of the day, what an hour's wages could buy you back then, and what an hour's wages can still buy you today. And so every time I hear someone say, I remember when bread was 50 cents a loaf, and my response will always be, what were the wages of the day? What was the common hourly wage? And that usually trips them up because they go, oh, yeah, well, the wages of the day were like $1 an hour. Oh, so a loaf of bread was 50 cents, but most Americans only made $1 an hour. I see. Wow. So again, when people mention everything used to be cheaper, always come back with what were the wages when it was that price. So you always got to think about that. Always got to think about that. And I'm really excited about this program tonight because when I posted how good the economy was, because that's how I look at it. Because I grew up in the 70s and nothing was selling in the 70s. We were not selling houses. We weren't able to sell cars. Nobody was buying. Nobody was buying anything. Stores had to have clearance sales and give out coupons and did anything they could to beg you to come in their store to shop, to buy product, to buy merchandise, just to get it off their shelf. I remember my first minimum wage job was $7.25 an hour back in 2006. Well, again, $7.25. That's quite a bit. Now it's like 12. So you got to think about, Jay, what an hour's wages could buy you back then could probably still buy you the same today, except the numbers are bigger. Yeah, you're making more money, but everything costs more. Everything costs more because employers have to pay out more in labor. And a lot of their suppliers had to raise their prices because they had to pay out more in labor. And so when everything goes up, eventually it'll level out. It will level out. Eventually it will. Gas will level out probably at $4.50 to $5 a gallon. It's not going to go to $10 a gallon. Every time I hear people say the economy is going to crash, the middle class is disappearing, I heard that stuff when I was a teenager, when I was a kid. I remember hearing that stuff. The middle class is going to disappear. The economy is in the tank. Oh my God, the world's going to end. Like Chicken Little, the sky is falling. I heard all that back when I was a kid. You know what? It never happened. The world never ended. Life moved on. So anyone who tells you the economy's in a tanker, they're listening to Chicken Little. Chicken Little who said the sky is falling. No, people, the sky is not falling. I don't know what echo chamber you're going down, but you're listening to Chicken Little. And I don't do that. I just open up my eyeballs and take a look around. When the restaurants are full, the lakes are full. I look at my news feed, and there's lots of people going on vacations, going to Hawaii, going on cruises. I mean, I'm serious. People are spending money, but at some point, the money's going to run out, and we will go into a recession. I believe that. Okay, let's read the comments that people said on my Facebook post. Okay, there's one. I won't read your names, but I'll at least read the post. We will be fine. Yes, Jay Tahoe, we are going to be fine because I don't believe in the end of the world. I don't listen to Chicken Little. I don't listen to people who say the sky is falling, the world's going to end. It never ends. It's like, remember Y2K? The computers are going to crash. Oh my God, what are we going to do? And there's people who believe in that Mayan calendar stuff too. That never happened either. The world went on. Didn't stop. So, okay, here's one. Here's a comment. Right, meaning a $14 an hour wage is the new $10 an hour. People wanted more money and the cost of goods to stay low, but it didn't. With the rise in pay, thus went the cost of goods, which is why a lot of people argue that raising the minimum wage overall was a horrible idea. People still have to learn to live in their means. Thank you. That is correct. Okay, here's another person that commented. I'm reading the comments as they're coming. Are there any comments? All I'm seeing are the YouTube comments. You getting any Facebook ones?
Nope.
Okay. I have no idea where you would live to find the conditions you describe, but it's nowhere near here or places nearby. Better stay there because the rest of us are struggling greatly. Look, I'm not denying that people are struggling. That's the human condition. I struggle. We all struggle. Everybody struggles. That's what gives us strength. Um, I mean, even millionaires and billionaires struggle. They just have more bills than you do with more zeros behind it. And yeah, I mean, I'm not denying there's people out there that are less fortunate, but I also can't deny that compared to the 1970s, our economy is pretty good. When people are out there spending and they're going on vacations, they're going on cruises, they're going to the lake, they're filling up the theme parks like Steal Your Dollar City, and they do steal your dollars. So when I see people out there buying cars, RVs, motorcycles, cool. Americans are out there spending. They're out there having a good time. That's great. I love it. Because the naysayers are going, there is no economy and everybody's broke. Well, a few people are, but obviously a lot of people are not. My news feed is full of people going on cruises and vacations. I live here in Springfield, Missouri. Some of my best friends are realtors, and they say houses are going fast. Also see a lot of people going on vacations. We have more jobs than people. Yeah, like I said, I grew up in the 1970s, and everything was the opposite back then. Okay. Another person says, must be all credit or tax dollar jobs these people are living off. Some people are living off tax credits. Yes, that may be a good argument. I think the tax credits are still going where you're getting so much per child per month. I think that's still going on. I think that would be a correct assumption. That's where some of the money's coming from. I'm not doubting that. People are holding off on selling and relocating because of the economy. No, they're not. People are selling because they know they can get above asking price for their house. Fewer houses are available is why they are going fast. I don't know. The cost of new construction is outrageous, and it's always been that way. Our government is printing money like crazy and sending it out to foreign countries instead of helping the American people. Yeah, that's true. Our government tends to help foreigners better than it helps American people. That money does not go to the poor people. Poor people have been getting money. They get more than you think. It goes to that country's government. True, true, true. Oh, she's talking about that money does not go to the poor people in those countries. She's absolutely correct. It goes to the country's government. Yeah, they steal it. The Democrat politicians are controlling the price of fuel. I don't think so. I think it's more complicated than that. Joe Biden sold half of America's emergency oil supply to help other countries instead of helping the American people. I'll have to look into that. People are acting like the crazy government and using their credit cards, which have announced that they are raising their interest rates. The Democrats are using all their resources to keep Donald Trump from running for president in 2024. Maybe a little bit of truth there. A man was spotted by police carrying a rifle, and he admitted that he was going to kill Judge Kavanaugh and his family. That is supposed to be against the law. The judge that he went before is a Democrat supporter, so of course he dropped the charges. There may be more to it than that because you don't go up against a judge. You go up against one judge, and every judge in the country will. I mean, you just don't do that. Like I said, people are going down certain echo chambers here, and they only know the news that is being fed to them. Because I don't go down these echo chambers. Crime in the bigger cities has skyrocketed. Yeah. The police can no longer do their jobs because their budgets have been cut. That's true. They cannot afford gasoline. No, yes, they can. The governments, they have a contract on it. I spoke to the Springfield School District today, and their price that they get gas at is locked in. So there's a price control for the school system, probably for the police department too. The Clinton member that lied to the FBI was acquitted, which held accountable. That's all politics. I'm trying to stick to strictly the economy here. We produce the safest, most environmentally efficient than countries we are purchasing fuel from. The Green Deal. I don't know anything about the Green Deal. Wow. Okay, that's another topic. This is supposed to be funny. You're not living in reality if you really believe. I am living in reality. I just choose to be positive. I don't. I don't live in. Or I don't listen to Chicken Little, who says that the world's going to end and the economy sucks and the country sucks. I choose to look at it from a very positive point of view. What world are you living in? The real estate and car markets have tanked here in California. Gas is $7 a gallon. Well, I don't know about California, but overall, the real estate market is still strong. Another person said delusion. Well, like I said, I choose to be positive. The world is good or as bad as you believe it to be. Another person, if you think the economy is better, you are not living on Earth. Yes, I am. I just choose to look at things differently. Do you support Biden? No, I do not support Sleepy Joe. I hope not, because the woke liberals hate God. I don't hate God. I love God. You need to prepare for the coming tribulations. I am prepared. I'm a prepper. The signs are all around you. God bless. Thank you. Another person says, I'm so glad others see the foolishness of this post, because when I read it last night, I thought to myself, just ignore Brandy. Just stay quiet. I'm in the construction business, and I can say work is harder to come by than with Trump in office. Work is harder to come by? I know guys who can't keep up with work. I talk to handymen every day. I have several of them that come in. I talk to them, and they have too much work. They can't get a day off. They're always working. I can say work is harder to come by. No, it's not. People do not have the cash flow to remodel. They're not remodeling because supplies are hard to get and people know it. They're just waiting for the market to level off where supplies are easier to get. That's the reason they're not remodeling, is just they know that labor is hard to find, materials are hard to find. So I'd be putting off remodeling too. It's not because of I don't have the money. It's because I know that the economy doesn't have the resources. With material prices what they are, fuel, etc., etc., it's harder to make a profit without pricing yourself too high, and you do not get the work. I know plenty of guys who are in the construction business. I know plenty of handymen, and they have more work they can handle. They are constantly working. We are doing some roofs that while my guys are all paid, we are only profiting a couple $100. However, the flip side of my profit, well, okay. Okay. Here's one. Let's see. My friend Joshua is saying this. Well, I find this post interesting, and I would like to touch on this by simply saying thank you so much for putting your opinion out there. Like I said, it's my opinion. And I choose to live in a world where I love my country. I cherish every moment every breath I take. Um, I had a health crisis recently, so I I'm seeing the world a little differently than most people, and I appreciate every breath I take. And while you can judge and criticize how bad the country is, I choose to look at it from a positive perspective. The fact that there's more jobs than people, that's good. When I was growing up, people didn't have jobs. They were being laid off. Factories are laying people off because they were putting robots in the factories to replace humans. I remember that. So I appreciate what's happening right now. When they were printing all that stimulus check money, all these QE3, QE4s, I knew inflation was right around the corner because they're flooding the market with dollars. They were just flooding the market with it. So, yeah, I knew inflation was inevitable. But those of us who prepare for inflation, we're doing just fine. I'm doing just fine. I'm putting your opinion out there. I really appreciate it. But there is a little hesitance of what I can say in Facebook. I'll keep it short for sure. So, first off, most of all these comments on this thread sounds about right. There seems to be a confusion here. I am not sure if the statistics in your area are correct or not. Well, I'm just going by facts. Facts are we are selling houses and cars like crazy. There's obviously a lot of money floating around out there. Americans have money to buy houses and cars and RVs and motorcycles, and they're going on cruises. They're going out to eat. They're shopping like never before. You go by like Sandra. She was going by Hong Kong Inn to pick up dinner, and the lines were long, unbelievably long. So yeah, I mean, there's obviously people out there spending money. You can't tell me the economy is bad. Um, I travel all over the country, and honestly, I've seen lots and lots of people struggling. Well, of course you do. People struggle all the time, no matter what the economy is doing. They're always going to have people struggling. That's just the way it is. That's um, not only with gasoline, but with produce and meat markets all over the world. Yeah, the labor shortage is partly to blame for that. There's so much more here that's wrong than people are appointing here. The land of the free and America the brave is no more. I still believe in this country. It has been missing since the first blow when the World Trade Center got taken down by hijackers. That was 22 years ago. We have had numerous catastrophic events every 10 to 15 years in the United States. And now we have the newest member on board called COVID-19. This virus alone has gotten to this point alone. The sooner people realize it and wake up, it will continue to happen. The American government needs to step up and stop this madness and start helping us instead of foreign countries. Yeah, you're right. I think our government spends too much time helping foreign countries. Um, we need to put America first. I agree with you on that one. Absolutely. This is not what we fought for in the first place. We fought to claim peace and freedom with life to grow, business to flourish. Yes, we did. That's gone. No, it's not. It's not completely gone. Believe me, it's still there. There hasn't been a sign of anything on TV like that. Used to be that you could watch the news and they'd have birthdays celebrating soldiers had passed away. I remember celebrating elderly people because of their age. It just seems like now we hear nothing but shootings, drug overdoses, people being malicious, and of course the government being complete idiots and not giving reasonable results for the American people. You're absolutely correct. That's why I don't watch the news. That's why I don't go down that echo chamber. Because people are going down this echo chamber and that's all they see is all this negativity. Negative, negative, negative. And so I don't watch Fox. I don't watch CNN. I don't even watch the local news. I when I'm at work, I catch a few moments of it at work, and it's more than I can stand because it's so negative. And I'm trying to stay so positive after my wife passed away. So I have been struggling to fight depression, and the only best way I can fight it is to stay positive. I can't have negativity at all. I try to avoid it as best I can. So, um, So no, I don't believe everybody is okay in America. The only way if you're doing okay is if you're a big businessman. That's not true. That makes millions of dollars, or if you're up there at the GOP headlines of the government taking tax dollars. There's lots of people who are doing very well. Because a lot of us don't buy into this Chicken Little, the sky is falling crap. I mean, if you buy into that, fine. You can buy that lie. The sky is falling. The world's going to end. But I don't buy it. I don't live my life according to Chicken Little. America needs to wake up and fight. Had to pledge of allegiance back in school. Um, Pay raises more lower income people to be recognized for what they have already done. Look, if you want a pay raise, start a business. I mean, that's what everybody else has done. Inflation in America, yeah. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, we knew inflation was coming when they printed all that stimmy money. So those are the comments so far that I have read. And later on, Sandra and I are going to do a Spotify version of this. Woo, we haven't done that in a few months. So, but yeah. So tonight, I'm focusing on why I believe the economy is doing well. Like I said, I personally, my eyes do not deceive me. If you think I'm full of crap, talk to any realtor. Talk to any realtor and they'll tell you about the housing market, how well it's going. It's still going well. Talk to any car dealership and their cars are still selling. It may have cooled off a little bit, but cars are still selling. Go to your Facebook news feed. Here's one for you. Go to your own news feed. How many posts have you been seeing of people going on vacations, going on cruises, going to the lake, going to Silver Dollar City, or Steal Your Dollar City? Because they do steal your dollars. So you have to go to your own Facebook news feeds of people you know and look at how many people are buying cars, houses, going to the lake. I'm glad people are going to the lake and having a good time. I'm proud that America is doing something besides sitting at home. They're getting out. They're having fun. They're going to Six Flags. They're going to Steal Your Dollar City to have their dollars stolen from them. I'm sorry. I call it Steal Your Dollar City because they steal your dollars there. But it's always been that way. But like I said, I remember a time when stores had to beg you to come in their store. Now, restaurants and stores can't keep up. I mean, you go by any McDonald's stand and there's a line of cars a mile long. You go by Starbucks and there's a line of cars a mile long to get their lattes. So obviously the economy must be doing pretty decent for people to still afford their lattes. And people like Sandra, she went to Hong Kong Inn, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you said that there was a line of cars a mile long. I mean, all the way out to Glenstone,
Mm-hmm.
and then some. So yeah, I mean, they're always packed. Packed. And so always, absolutely. So yeah, America is prospering. Look, folks, you can look at it two ways. You can either say, look, the economy is tanking, and I've heard that all my life. I heard that when I was a teenager. They said the middle class is disappearing. Oh my gosh, homelessness is on the rise. We have poverty on the rise. I heard that when I was a teenager. I heard all that. I used to buy into Glenn Beck and buy into all this economic meltdowns. And there was a book that came out in the mid 90s called Bankruptcy 1995. And there was a time I actually believed this nonsense until I grew up and I changed my way of thinking. Now, you could either look at the world in a positive lens or a negative lens. But you got to get out of your echo chambers if you think the economy is really, really bad. It's not. It's a lot better than you think it is. When you are seeing a line of cars at Starbucks, when you are seeing lines of cars at McDonald's or any restaurant, and their restaurants are full, people are buying stuff and the stuff they can't keep it on the shelves because people are buying it. That's part of it. Part of it's a supply issue, but that's been getting better in recent because more of those cargo ships been sitting off the California coast are now being uh, trucked in. So again, everything will taper off. I think we could see a recession, and that's not doom and gloom because we're in a bubble that I think is going to pop. Sooner or later, the money's going to run out. I think people, because of the root beer, um, people are tired. They're tired of being cooped up, so they're getting out of the house. They were doing this last year too, in 2021. They're doing it this year. I don't expect them to do this again next year. So a year from now, you could be seeing a cooling off of the real estate market, the car market. This bubble may pop. Right now, I'm saying the economy's in decent shape. Look, the world is as good or as bad as you believe it to be. If you believe that the economy is tanking and you want to listen to Chicken Little, who's saying the sky is falling, the sky is falling, if you really want to believe that, be my guest. Believe that all you want. But I choose to believe the other way with my own eyes. When I drive down the road and I can see that line of cars at Starbucks, I'm going, yes. People are out there spending, they're buying their lattes, and they're having a good time. When I seen those Facebook posts of people at the lake going down the river, they're out fishing, they're partying, they're having a good time. I'm going, yes, we should be having a good time. I'm proud of the American people for going out and having a good time. I know several families are taking cruises and they're vacationing in California. They're going to the beach, and why not? It's summertime. Kids are out of school. Have fun. Have a good time. We should be. I'm glad that people are doing that because that gives me encouragement. When I see people posting, they're on vacation. Here's me at my condo. We're at the beach. Here we just bought a new RV for $100,000. It gives me encouragement. I can't tell you how many Facebook posts I've seen of people showing off their new rides. Look, I bought a new car. I got a new car. Or I just got a new motorcycle. I bought a boat. I've seen several posts like that. Go to your own Facebook newsfeed and you tell me what you see. There's got to be at least, even in your own newsfeed, at least a half a dozen posts of people either buying houses, cars, going on vacation. That's great. That's good. And like I said, if you want to go down the echo chamber and listen to Chicken Little say the sky is falling, be my guest. If that's what you want to believe, that the economy is tanking, it's not. There's nothing wrong with the economy. Yes, the government put out too much money, and that's why we're having inflation. Gas is not going to go to $10 a gallon. Don't listen to that crap. Oh my God, there's people who actually believe that gas is going to go to $10 a gallon. I heard that. No, it won't. It might level off where it is now. It's right now, it's about $4.49. So I think it could level off at maybe even at $4 a gallon. We may see it at $4 a gallon again. It will level off at some point. And it'll stay there for a while. But you're not going to see $10. I just don't believe that. So, like I said, all the people commenting are saying, Jeremiah, how can you say the economy is great and the economy is good? Because that's how I choose to see it. And the numbers don't lie. Talk to any realtor. Talk to any car dealer. You go You look at Amazon's numbers. People are spending money right and left. I mean, Amazon can barely keep up with its orders. Talk to any Amazon driver. Next time you see an Amazon driver, you talk to that guy. He'll tell you business is booming for Amazon. He can't deliver those packages fast enough. He'll tell you that. So if you don't believe anything I'm telling you, it can be backed up by anyone you know that sells cars, anyone that you know works for Amazon, anyone that you know is a realtor. Or just drive down the road and what do you see? Next time you go out to eat, the restaurant is full. Just drive down the road, look at those drive-thrus that are cars are just lined up. Look with your own two eyes. What do you see? So I see a thriving economy. I see too much money chasing too few goods and services. And in a few years, the housing market's going to get a lot better. It's going to be a buyer's market. I say that because we got a lot of boomers who are dying off every year. So in about 10 years, I told some guy that in about 10 years, you're going to see a lot of houses go on the market. You're going to see more houses than people buying. I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot of houses go on the market. That's what I believe, because the boomers are dying off every year. So many boomers and so many Xers. I'm Gen X. I'm 55. Will die off. That means there's going to be more houses on the market. Keep your eyes peeled. I got this guy who's 20 years old. I talked to him today. I said, by the time you're 30, possibly before then, by the time you're 25 or 26, you're going to see a housing market that's going to be a buyer's market. I heard one person say, well, companies like BlackRock will buy up all the houses. Well, BlackRock is here today, gone tomorrow. Don't assume that they're going to rescue everybody or they're going to buy up the market. And people thought Walmart was a monopoly. They're going to take over the world. That never happened. Walmart, I don't even think Walmart's in the top 5 anymore. They got knocked off the number 1 spot, the number 2 spot even. And so what goes up must come down. So I heard a lot of things, but I still believe in this country. And I'm going to produce another video explaining why this is the best time to be alive. And there's more economic opportunity today than any other time in history. For instance, what I'm doing right now. What am I doing right now? I'm live streaming, correct? Okay. What I'm doing right now is a moneymaker. In other words, if you are live streaming, there's a good chance you can make good money doing it. Depends on your topic. When we talk about finance, there's companies that will sponsor you. On YouTube, there's 8 ways to make money on YouTube. I have seen so many people make good money through social media. By live streaming, you can set up a super chat. Once I hit 1,000 subs, I can set up a super chat. I also have a merch store. I have a personal website. I can make corporate sponsorship. I have an LLC. So everything is wrote off on my taxes. It's a tax haven. There are multiple ways I can make money on this. I'm going to do a whole video dedicated to every way you can make money and why there's more opportunity today than any other time in history. It's the best time to be alive. If you're looking for ways to make more money, they're out there. Technology has made it possible for the little guy to get ahead. Well, you could sell stuff on eBay, clean out your closet, clean out your attic, and put some stuff on eBay. Put some stuff in the Facebook marketplace. You can make good money. If you make 40, 50 bucks a day, that's 40 bucks you didn't have. Clean out your closet. Clean out that garage. I bet you got stuff sitting in your garage you could sell on the Facebook marketplace. I bet you do. And it's just creating so many income opportunities. There's more today than there was when I was a teenager. To do what I'm doing back in the 80s, I'd spend $100,000. You have to hire a production crew. You got to buy airtime. Plus, you have to mass produce your merchandise and you have to store it. You ship it yourself. Yeah, there's a lot of cost back then. But today, there's more opportunity today than any other time in history. It's just so much opportunity out there. And we've been on 45 minutes. Any comments coming in on Facebook?
Nope.
It's all been on YouTube, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I thought for sure I'd get some on Facebook. I got 6 viewers on here still, and I don't want to drag this on because when people rewatch this, and I don't want to repeat myself. I've already read all the comments that people, I'm surprised more people aren't commenting on this. Please comment below. David Bell says hello. Finally, my first Facebook. You didn't see it, did you?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Hello, David Bell. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight I was talking about the economy. So, like I said, I choose to look at the economy in a positive light. And you can follow your echo chamber and listen to Chicken Little, who tell you the sky is falling, the economy sucks, the middle class will be disappeared and gone. That has never happened. The middle class is still here. The middle class is still alive and strong. And the economy has never been better. And I say that because when I drive down the road and I see those lines of cars at Starbucks, at Hong Kong Inn, at fast food restaurants, I see these cars line up. People out there spending, they're shopping, they're eating, they're going on vacations, and they're going on cruises. No, there's nothing wrong with the economy. Stop listening to all these doom and gloom people. Stop listening to Chicken Little. Stop hearing all these people preach doom and gloom. The sky is falling. It's not falling, and the world will never end. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I heard people predict the end of the world. That just gets me. And people fall for this stuff. It's like they fall for predictions of the rapture. Oh, the rapture is going to happen. The rapture is going to happen this year. All the signs and prophecy said, we talked about this over the weekend. We did. He must be somebody I know personally. David Bell. I have to look him up. We talked about this over the weekend. Oh, we did. Yes. David Bell is obviously somebody I know personally. I just see 500 people a day. I must not know him by name. But I will look him up at your job. Well, thanks, David. Wow. Yeah, we probably did. I mentioned it to somebody over the weekend. I mentioned it to a couple of customers because I'm trying to look at everything from a positive light. When I see people buying houses, buying cars, that tells me the economy is good because in the 70s, that was not happening. People were not buying houses and cars. I go by Rusty. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. I know who this is. Yeah. And no, David, I do not support Sleepy Joe. Because I had someone say, you must be a shill for Biden. No, I'm not. I'm just choosing to look at things from a positive light. Instead of believing Chicken Little that the sky is falling. The sky's not falling. The middle class isn't going anywhere. Because I heard this argument over and over all the time growing up. I heard it when I was a little kid. The economy, we're $1 trillion in debt. Jimmy Carter messed it up. And unemployment was high. Yeah, unemployment was high back when I was a kid. People didn't have jobs. I remember that. I remember the gas lines. But today, people are out there shopping and spending. You can't prove me wrong. I mean, you just drive down Glenstone. You tell me what you see. Next time you drive by any fast food restaurant, Springfield and 32 states, Simpsons. Oh, oh, I know who this is now. Yes. He's reminding me who he is. So, yes, I know who this is, exactly who this is. Thank you, David. Um, like I said, I believe in this country and I believe the economy has never been better. And there's still 6 people online here. I may have to end it because I'm already repeating myself. And because of the replay, I don't want to repeat myself. I'm glad everybody. Thanks, David, for your comments. Thank you for tuning in. And I just want to let everybody, you got to look at things from a positive perspective. Stop listening to Chicken Little. Stop watching Fox and CNN. I mean, if you listen to all the crap, you'd think the world was going to end. Don't listen to it. Don't pay any attention to it. I don't. Open up your eyeballs. What do you see? Yeah, there's people hurting. We've always had that. We've always had people struggling. That's the human condition. The struggle is what makes us stronger, makes us more perseverance, and makes us more innovative. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're living on the prairie and you're struggling, and you go, how am I going to get this water from the creek to the house and make it more efficient? You create a plumbing system. Then you have water go from the creek to the house. Because of pain and suffering creates innovation because you're trying to think of a better way to do something. So again, even my friend Sandra here does arts and crafts, right, Sandra?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm telling you, start a YouTube channel. That's free. Social media is free. And there's so much opportunity out there, way more than people think. Way more. We didn't have this opportunity when I was a kid. Man, if we had this kind of technology and opportunity when I was a teenager, I'd be a millionaire today with what I know. If now we have fiber optics, we have this ability my ability to live stream with all of you. It's a moneymaker. I'm not denying. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I get paid money to live stream. Absolutely. Because Facebook has monetized me. So I get paid for these streams. Every time I stream, it's called Facebook Reels, I get a paycheck. And once I get big enough, I can hire staff. I can build a better studio, and I'll have corporate sponsorships top of my website, my merch store. I'll have subscribers on Patreon. There's many ways to make money doing this. There's so much opportunity that I'm shocked that people aren't taking advantage of it. So this is the best time to be alive. And like I said, if you think it's not, I'll take you back to medieval Europe. If the winters didn't kill you, the Vikings would. I mean, they were pillaging everything. So be grateful to be alive in this day and age. Yeah, this world's got its problems, but it depends on how you look at the world. You can look at it from a negative lens or a positive lens. You can be grateful for what God's given to you or complain. Take your pick. The Almighty God upstairs, what do you think he likes? Do you think he likes complainers? Or do you think he likes people being thankful and grateful? Think about that one. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you, David. I'm going to end it here on this note because in my next video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can make money on the YouTube or whatever streaming platform you're on. Because if you're not making money on the internet, you're missing the boat. And you say, I need to make more money to pay for gas and rising costs. Well, the opportunities there. They didn't have this when I was a kid. We had to pay for airtime. So I gotta let everybody go. So I'm gonna say good night. Thank you folks for tuning in. Bye bye.